The year is 1793. A young Napoleon Bonaparte, barely a man, watches in stunned silence as the blade falls. The crowd roars its approval, their cries echoing through the Parisian square. He can still hear the Queen's last words, "Lord, enlighten my executioner, forgive my enemies." Marie Antoinette's blood stains the cobblestones, a stark symbol of a world consumed by revolution. France is a powder keg, and Napoleon, an ambitious artillery officer, finds himself thrust into the heart of the storm. Born on the island of Corsica, Napoleon always felt the pull of destiny. He devoured books on history and military strategy, his mind a crucible of ambition. Now, standing amidst the chaos of revolutionary Paris, he sees opportunity amidst the bloodshed. The revolution has created a void, a vacuum of power waiting to be filled. Napoleon, a staunch believer in meritocracy, sees the revolution tearing down the old world. He throws his support behind the revolutionaries, his military acumen quickly gaining recognition. He distinguishes himself on the battlefields of Italy, his tactical brilliance earning him both admiration and envy. The revolution, however, is far from over. The reign of terror casts a long shadow, consuming even its own architects in its flames. Toulon, a strategic port city on the Mediterranean coast, becomes a critical battleground. Royalist forces, backed by the British, have taken control, threatening the revolution's grip on France. The fate of the nation hangs in the balance. Napoleon, now a brigadier general, is tasked with retaking the city. His superiors, skeptical of the young officer's abilities, underestimate his strategic genius. Napoleon, however, sees what they do not. He devises a daring plan, a strategic masterpiece that will solidify his reputation as a military prodigy. The siege of Toulon becomes his proving ground. Under a relentless barrage of artillery fire, Napoleon's forces tighten their grip on Toulon. He leads from the front, inspiring his men with his courage and determination. The British, outmaneuvered and outgunned, are forced to withdraw. Toulon is liberated, and the revolution secured. Napoleon, hailed as the hero of Toulon, emerges from the smoke of battle a rising star. With the fall of Robespierre and the end of the Reign of Terror, France enters a new phase of revolution. The Directory, a five-man executive body, takes control, but their grip on power is tenuous. Napoleon, his star still ascending, finds himself drawn into the political machinations of Paris. Amidst the turmoil, he meets Joséphine de Beauharnais, a captivating widow 6 years his senior. Their courtship is a whirlwind of passion and ambition. Joséphine, well-connected in Parisian society, sees in Napoleon a man of destiny. He in turn is smitten by her charm and sophistication. Their marriage in 1796 is a union of ambition and desire. Napoleon, however, has little time for domesticity. He is soon back on the battlefield, leading French armies to victory in Italy. His campaigns are a testament to his tactical brilliance and his unwavering ambition. From the plains of Lombardy to the bridges of Lodi, his name becomes synonymous with victory. Napoleon's victories in Italy make him a national hero. The Directory, however, fears his growing popularity and his ambition. They recall him to Paris, hoping to control the burgeoning Bonaparte legend. They underestimate his ambition. Napoleon, sensing weakness in the Directory, sees an opportunity to seize power. He orchestrates a bloodless coup, the coup of 18 Brumaire, effectively ending the French Revolution. The Directory is dissolved, and Napoleon is named first consul, granting him unprecedented authority. France, weary of revolution, welcomes Napoleon's strong leadership. He consolidates his power, establishing a new constitution and a centralized government. He reforms the legal system, creates the Bank of France, and establishes a system of education. Napoleon, the revolutionary general, becomes Napoleon the statesman. Section 5. Emperor Napoleon, Crown of Laurels, Crown of France. Napoleon's reign as first consul marks a turning point in French history. He brings stability and order to a nation ravaged by revolution. He implements sweeping reforms, modernizing the French state and laying the foundation for a new era of French dominance. But his ambition knows no bounds. In 1804, Napoleon crowns himself Emperor of the French. The coronation, a lavish ceremony held at Notre Dame Cathedral, is a testament to his power and ambition. No longer content with being merely the first consul, Napoleon seeks to establish a dynasty that will rival the great empires of Europe. His military campaigns continue, his army sweeping across Europe, crushing his enemies and redrawing the map of the continent. The Battle of Austerlitz in 1805 cements his reputation as a military genius. Napoleon's empire expands, his influence stretching from the shores of Spain to the borders of Russia. Section 6.2 Empresses' Love, Legacy, and the Needs of State. Despite his military triumphs and political acumen, Napoleon's personal life is marked by tragedy and calculation. Joséphine, unable to bear him an heir, becomes a liability in his quest for a lasting dynasty. Their marriage, once a passionate love affair, becomes a political partnership strained by Napoleon's ambition. In 1810, Napoleon makes the difficult decision to divorce Joséphine. He seeks a new wife, one who can provide him with an heir and secure his legacy. He sets his sights on Marie Louise, Archduchess of Austria, solidifying his ties with the Habsburg dynasty and securing a powerful alliance. The marriage is a political triumph, but an emotional sacrifice. Joséphine, heartbroken, retires to her estate at Malmaison. Marie Louise, young and dutiful, fulfills her role as empress, bearing Napoleon a son and heir, Napoleon II. But the seeds of Napoleon's downfall are already being sown. Section 7. The Russian Winter, Hubris, and the Retreat from Glory. Napoleon's empire, vast and seemingly invincible, is about to face its greatest test. In 1812, Napoleon embarks on a fateful campaign against Russia. Tsar Alexander I's refusal to adhere to the continental system, Napoleon's economic blockade against Great Britain, leads to war. The invasion of Russia proves to be a catastrophic miscalculation. The Russian army, employing a scorched earth policy, retreats deep into the vast Russian interior, drawing Napoleon's forces further and further from their supply lines. The Russian winter, brutal and unforgiving, decimates the Grande Armée. Napoleon's dreams of conquest turn to ashes in the Russian snow. The retreat from Moscow is a harrowing ordeal, a testament to the folly of hubris and the unforgiving nature of war. The once mighty Grande Armée is reduced to a shadow of its former self. Section 8. Waterloo and Exile. The sun sets on an empire. The disastrous Russian campaign marks a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes. His enemies, emboldened by his defeat, sense an opportunity to crush him once and for all. A coalition of European powers unites against him, their armies converging on France. Napoleon, however, is not finished yet. He returns to Paris, rallies his remaining forces, and prepares for one last stand. The Battle of Waterloo, fought on June 18, 1815, will decide the fate of Europe. The battle rages for hours, a bloody stalemate. But the arrival of Prussian reinforcements turns the tide against Napoleon. Waterloo is a crushing defeat, a final blow to Napoleon's dreams of empire. He abdicates for the second time, surrendering to the British. He is exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, his reign over France, and his dreams of European domination shattered. Section 9. The Legacy of Napoleon, a Final Word. Napoleon Bonaparte died in exile on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51. His death, shrouded in controversy, sparked debate about the cause, with some speculating poisoning. Regardless of the cause, the world mourned or celebrated the passing of one of history's most impactful figures. Napoleon's legacy remains complex and contested. He was a military genius, a ruthless conqueror, and a visionary leader. He spread the ideals of the French Revolution throughout Europe, even as he crowned himself emperor. His legal code, the Napoleonic Code, influenced legal systems around the world. His military campaigns, while marked by bloodshed and conquest, also revolutionized warfare. He left an indelible mark on the political landscape of Europe, shaping the destinies of nations and leaving behind a legacy that continues to be debated and dissected centuries later. Section 10. Conclusion. The Enduring Shadow of an Emperor. Napoleon's story is a cautionary tale of ambition, genius, and the corrupting influence of power. He rose from obscurity to become the most powerful man in Europe, only to fall from grace in a spectacular downfall. He was a man of contradictions, a revolutionary who became an emperor, a military genius who led his armies to both glorious victory and crushing defeat. His impact on history is undeniable. He left behind a legacy of sweeping reforms, military innovations, and a reshaped map of Europe. He inspired both awe and fear, admiration and revulsion. He was, in the words of historian Andrew Roberts, the most extraordinary individual who has ever lived. Napoleon Bonaparte's story is a reminder that history is not simply a collection of dates and battles, but a tapestry woven from the lives of extraordinary individuals who shaped the course of human events. And Napoleon, for better or for worse, was one of the most extraordinary individuals of them all.